is with us. Okay, so she'll be speaking about her oil experience, and we'll be sharing some interesting facts about the oil. So over to you, Annalise. You can start the call. You can go
Thank
forward with
you.
the session.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Abhishek, very much. Good evening, everyone. I see many familiar names, and I would love to see more cameras on, just so that again it makes me feel less nervous. um, yeah, thank you. Thanks, Nupur. See Becky and Suzanne. Um, what I'm going to share with you today is again, it's a short, call. We're going to actually talk about using oils in mindful practices and breath work. So when Abhi, asked me to take this class, I said, what do I share? Like, what's like close to my heart? What can I teach tonight? And I thought that this topic would be something that you can take away with and, run with right away. So if you're on your phone, just kind of look for where your reaction buttons are. And if you're on your laptop, I'm sure you can see that right at the bottom on the screen. So send me a reaction, maybe a heart or a thumbs up, if you have oils at the moment in front of you. And if you're already with doTERRA, you better have oils right in front of you. Yeah, I see a few hearts. Excellent. For those of you who don't have your oils yet, that's okay. Right? We will pretend, we will try and imagine what these beautiful fragrances are like, and we will still partake of some of the practices that I'm going to teach you. So take copious notes. The recording will also be shared later. So you can always go back to it and look at some of the suggestions that I have made. So let me start sharing my screen. There we go. Okay, is that clear? Can you see that one? Thank you.
Yeah, that's clear.
Right. And I see Abhi and Suzanne on my right-hand corner. So I'm going to be looking there, for eye contact and somebody to talk to. So, keep your questions coming. I've asked Suzanne and Abhishek to man the chat for us. So, as I said, this is a specific session just on using essential oils in a mindfulness practice and in breath work. You don't have to be a seasoned yogi to do this. It's a very simple, easy hacks that I want to share with you today. So trying to get the mouse to work. What is an essential? Oh, wait. First, let me just tell you a little bit about me, like why this topic and what makes me a credible person to share this with you. So number one, I am a yin yoga specialist. I specialize in a form of yoga called yin, and it's based in traditional Chinese medicine. And we work with energy meridians, we work with acupressure points, and I teach yin teachers how to use essential oils in their practice. And why essential oils? Because the universe conspired. In 2015, I came upon a soap making class. And the fragrance of grapefruit at that point just drove me absolutely crazy. And then I started to explore more about the oils, and I realized that they really have an understanding or knowing. I didn't know anything about how they worked. I didn't know about the chemistry, but I did know that they worked. And I'm not going to spend too much time in telling you about my story, but there's one thing I can tell you for sure. My medicine cabinet is now a big box of essential oils. For 20 years, I had to have antihistamines day after day. You can still maybe hear a little cold tonight. And I either sound really sexy with a bad nose, or I can sound like a frog. I don't know what's going to come out today. But 20 years, I struggled. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't taste my food. And it was all because of my gut. And when I met Suzanne, when I came, into like the doTERRA family, this was 2020, way before we even opened in the market. Becky and Suzanne mentored me. They shared their experience and their knowledge with me, and I began to fix my gut. And today, honestly, as I said, my medicine cabinet, even my son doesn't touch anything allopathic. It's all essential oils. My dog too. So what I'm sharing with you today is a little snippet of what I teach yoga teachers. So what is an essential oil? Some of you already know this, but for those of you who don't, in yin, in traditional Chinese medicine, we talk about the jing. The jing is your essence. It's your power. It's the energy that you have inside of you, that you're born with. So the essential oil is that jing of the plant. And they believe that when you extract the essential oil from the plant, you're extracting its spirit. You're taking its spirit inside of you. These are volatile. These are aromatic compounds. So if you open a bottle in one room, you're bound to smell it somewhere, outside. It's that, potent in the air, light volatile molecules. Essential oils are extracted from plants, from their roots, from their barks, their flowers, their seeds, their leaves, their fruit. And depending on where in the plant the oil is extracted from, again, that essential oil tends to give you that, that benefit. For example, let's take wild orange. It's from the fruit, from the rind of the fruit, and there are these happy orange, fruit just hanging on the branches of the tree. That's what it's doing for you. It's doing what it's doing for the plant. Maybe causing insects to come so that it can pollinate, or healing a cut or a wound. So whatever is happening in the plant, because it's their lifeblood, that essential oil is doing for you. These are the highest known oxygenating molecules, and they're also the highest frequency of any substance known to man. Essential oils work at the cellular level. They have, they can dissolve in lipid, so they can make it across the cell wall, move into the cell, and either flood the cell with nutrients that it needs, or flush out anything that it doesn't, including toxins and bacteria and viruses. So this is the power of the essential oil that you might already have on your desk with you, that you will soon be able to get your hands on. Keep putting questions in the chat box and maybe slow me down if I'm going too fast. Now, what's the best way in which you can use an essential oil, especially if you're looking for those quick hacks, right? The fastest way to affect your mood, or to affect anything that's happening in the head region, is to breathe the essential oil in. So for example, I've got lavender here, perfect timing because it's past my bedtime. So I'm going to open my bottle of lavender. I put a little drop on my hand, rub my palms together, and breathe it in. And it goes right through the blood-brain barrier. It goes right into the limbic portion of my brain. That's your primitive brain, where all your memories are stored. And I'll tell you a story. Until I came across the doTERRA lavender, I didn't like lavender essential oil at all. Maybe it stirred up memories of these old aunties that used to pinch my cheeks growing up. I don't know. And this lavender, it doesn't smell like a fake soap, right? It's pure, because doTERRA's lavender is pharmaceutical grade lavender oil, which means that every time they've tested it, 60 plus tests, it has come up with the same percentages of these individual components. So that's the purity of the oil that you're using. And that goes right into your limbic brain and creates those memories, or works throughout the rest of the body. In 2 minutes, it's in your bloodstream. 22 minutes, it's in every cell. That's the power of these volatile aromatic compounds. So next time you think you want to grab a Dolo cold, wait a bit. Grab a bottle of oil instead. So now, this is not just for yoga, but these are some ideas from a mindfulness practice. And your mindfulness practice can be anything. You could be journaling. You could be reading your scriptures. You could be, taking a walk in the grass. You could be doing a walking meditation. So any form of mindfulness that you want to do, these are the ways in which you can incorporate your oils. There are 3 ways in which we typically use essential oils. One is aromatically, which means you're breathing it in. You've got it in your environment, maybe through a diffuser. Maybe you've got a diffuser necklace. Maybe you've got it on a little tissue. Maybe you're tucking the tissue in, into your shirt or your blouse and getting that aroma to keep wafting up at you. So as I said earlier, the best way to affect the mood is to breathe the oil in. So if you're in a deep meditative state, or even if you're in a focused state where you want to be really, really mindful and focused, essential oils can work on the different states of the mind, from your alpha, your beta, your gamma, your delta, etc. Then, of course, in a pranayama practice or a regular breathing practice, I'm going to give you some tips for that today. Topically, essential oils. So if you've attended many of our other classes, we talk about topical applications, to help with certain concerns. What I'm asking you all to do tonight is to look at it from acupoints that are quick hacks for you. So topically on certain points in the body that will help you get into a state of calm. And we can also take, and remember, this is just for doTERRA and not doTERRA from Amazon. This is doTERRA through a wellness advocate who has invited you tonight. It can be taken internally. Some of the ideas, and this is not, the only idea. You can always come up with more. You can have detox waters. So before your practice, after your practice, you can put a drop of lemon in your water. Remember, please always use a glass bottle or a glass, no plastic, because the essential oil can eat into the plastic. You can put that in your chai, right? One of the members, Yvonne, was visiting, and she made me some chai, and sneakily she put some on guard into it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had never thought of on guard immune blend in my chai. So you can add that to the PowerPoint next time. Yeah. So these are some of the ways in which you can prep yourself for your practice. Take your detox water out with you if you're doing your mindful practice, outside. Maybe you're earthing, you're walking on the ground. Okay, here are your hacks, and you can even take a screenshot of this slide. So, and again, now this is again depending on where you are. And I know at the end of the day, you might want to use some of the more relaxing oils anyway. So if you feel that there's this overthinking happening, hands up anyone who's not been, plagued with that. You're constantly ruminating or your mind is running away with itself. So that indicates that your right brain is overactive. In order to balance out the two hemispheres, take a calming, soothing oil like lavender. For some people, they prefer wild orange. Wild orange does that same kind of effect for certain people because the oils respond to you differently based on your own chemistry, your own body makeup, your own memories. So take a bit of the oil, as I showed you earlier, a little dot on your hand, or maybe just straight from the bottle, because we're aiming for the left nostril. And if this is a mirror image, this is my left nostril. Just breathe it in. You're not pressing too hard on the right, but you're breathing in a soothing oil from the left nostril. And it brings about a balance between the two. So that's one hack, guys. You're welcome. I'm in a funny sense of, I have a funny sense of humor tonight. Right, now let's look at the earlobes. And whatever you do, please don't put the oils in your ear or in your nose or any other sensitive places, because it can really smart and it would get hard to get it out. Should you get oil in your eye, never wash it out. Use, again, doTERRA has a fractionated coconut oil, which is is liquid regardless of what weather it is outside. Wash it out with that. Now, please make a note of that and share that with friends as well. Okay, so let's get to the earlobes now. Your right earlobe, I'm sure many of you already know this, so it's maybe me just reminding you of stuff. Your right earlobe is connected to the left brain, but more than anything, it's also connected to your pituitary gland. Your pituitary gland being your master hormone. It's in charge of the water balance in your body, every other hormone in the body. It's also in charge of your sleep. But deeper into your sleep is the pineal gland. So if you want to activate that, your left earlobe, it then balances out the right hemisphere and the pineal gland. So even then, you can take, so if you notice, I'm using lavender for now, but I have other oils here for other things I want to show you. So a little dot on the earlobe, right? And just rub it onto the earlobe. And how does that help? Number one, because they have the highest frequency known to man, they act like acupuncture needles, the essential oil, the molecules. So you don't really have to worry about, getting too anal about what acupoint you're pressing. Broadly on the right earlobe, the oil will find, its place to work. And remember, always please breathe in the oil as well, because that's your first line of defense. The third hack I want to leave you with is the access to your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve is that long nerve that's connected to your gut from the stem of your brain. And it's in charge of your whole, parasympathetic nervous system, the one that keeps you calm, that can, get you to what is the word? To the fight and flight response. So basically, it's in charge of that switch. So to access the vagus nerve, you want to get here, that bony part just behind the ear. So that part where the head and the neck meet. You might find a little flesh there, but also a little bony part, so just behind the ear. So you can put your essential oils there too. So just for a few minutes in the chat, could you type your most favorite calming oils for me, please? I just want to see a lot of options, to the lavender that I've been using. So I see Becky's written adaptive. Thank you, Becky. Guys, please just keep typing, because those that don't have, doTERRA essential oils will see which oils they would like to go and look up later. Awesome. I see a lot of white orange. Nice. Roman chamomile. Great for sleep. I remember Suzanne teaching us that it's great for dreams. If you have nightmares, to add a bit of juniper berry and Roman chamomile together. Balance. Thank you, Ritu. Serenity. Yes. Frankincense. Absolutely. Copaiba. Fantastic. Keep those names coming. And for those of you who don't know what these oils are and where to get them, we will be telling you, how you can get your hands on them. But just maybe make a list of the oils that come up for you. I love vetiver. It's the most grounding oil I know. Lovely. Any questions on this so far? Anyone okay? Okay. Now I'm hoping that the tech will actually support me, because I have stolen this video from one of Becky's presentations. It's a video about how this beautiful oil balance, right? So balance is the oil you would want to use to really ground you. And if I had to do any breath work, especially if it's in the yin that I teach, we work on 3 centers called the dantians. You don't need to know all of that right now, but it's like the 3-part breathing you might be used to in, a typical hatha yoga practice. And I want to take you through something like that today. But before I do, I want to show you how effective this oil is. So there was this lab study done, which I will play for you right now. And it will speak for itself. And as we all say in doTERRA, the products speak for themselves. Here we go. If you can't hear, it's okay. There's a lot of script on the slide that you can still see. Sorry, guys, I'm just a little tech. Um, Ignore it if you can't hear the sound, so I won't worry about that, okay? Here you go. Hashtag no words. Amazing, right, guys? And that's exactly why I chose to be with doTERRA, because it's a science-backed company. There's no woo-woo-ness about the oils. It is science-backed. We have teams sitting and doing clinical research, sharing that research. And that's the company that has our back and has had our back for all these years before we even opened in the country. So coming to these oils that I want you to practice using. Here we go. Now, I've kind of picked, I'm not going to get into the science of why these oils work, but just net for those of you who are yoga teachers and interested in why these particular pranayamas and why these particular oils. In the back end, you're looking at the vayus. You're looking at which way and which direction do these oils help move the winds. Yeah? But for us lay people, this is sufficient to know that when you're doing a 3-part breath, then we're going to do that tonight. Or some of you might want to do the alternate nostril breathing. I'll show you both of those breaths tonight, and we'll spend about a couple of rounds doing that. So if you're doing the 3-part breathing, the oil that they suggest is either Digest Sen. No, and notice, okay, Digest Sen is for your solar plexus. It is in the area of the lower part of the body. So you're working with your gut. Then, of course, you have your breathe, which is to open up the lungs. And grapefruit is, again, one that opens up and, refreshes the mind. So in your 3-part breathing, you're breathing into your belly first. Then you fill up your mid part of the lungs. And then you fill up your clavicle. And when you exhale, you release from the shoulders first, the clavicle first, then the torso, and then the abdomen. At no point are you holding your breath. You're not straining. You're not forcing. Your breath is gentle. And all you want to do is just follow the breath, filling up the abdomen first, then filling up the middle of your chest, and then the top of the clavicle. When you've come to the fullest point of your inhale, Ride the wave of the exhale and just let the breath go. Clavicle, torso, the thorax, and then your abdomen. So pick whichever oil you want. If you have no oils with you, again, imagine, the breath, of course, being filled with this freshness of an oil that's got like a minty flavor, bit of an orange pop. I'm sure you've smelled those smells before. Smells that will open up the lungs and give you a lot more capacity for, not just for breathing, but capacity to love, to receive, to be open to life. If you'd rather do the alternate nostril breathing, right? So some of you already know the alternate nostril breathing. If some of you would like to learn it, so we do a mudra. You're using your thumb to close the right nostril and your ring finger for the left nostril. You could place your other two fingers on the center of your forehead. So you're closing but don't get started yet because I want you to use your oils. So you have your right nostril closed. Exhale from the left. Inhale from the left. Close with the ring finger. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close with the thumb. Exhale left. So that is one round. And if you do have a cold like I do right now, don't do the alternate nostril breathing. Just do a regular 3-part breath. So I'm going to actually suggest maybe frankincense if you have frankincense around, because it's a beautiful oil to just help you on that whole anti-inflammatory level, create deep cellular healing, to calm the mind, to also open up, the airways. It's a great oil for your lungs. So how would you do this, right? So you've got your oil, rubbing it onto your hand, taking a breath in, and then preparing for your practice. You're either doing the alternate nostril breathing, we do 7 rounds, 7 rounds of the 3-part breath. So take your time. I'm going to keep an eye on you now. So if you have your cameras on, I'll be able to see. If you don't have an oil, remember, just take your mind into your body. Follow the breath. Your mind wanders, bring it back to the quality of the breath now. What is your pace like? Is your breath deep or is it shallow? Is it steady or is it staggered? And you're not judging, you're just paying attention. Those of you using your oils, how do you feel, as you smell this fragrance coming up and down your nostrils, bathing the insides of your respiratory system? When you're done with the 7 rounds, send me a thumbs up, please, or a heart, or any icon. We're not doing Kapalbhati tonight because it is, again, a very activating breath. I know for those of you in the US, it would have been great to do in the morning, but I just decided to focus on the calming, soothing breath. Everyone okay? I remember I did a road trip recently with a group that invited me to teach doTERRA oils on this road trip in Kerala. And they were so beautiful because they wanted to give me the perfect setting. They picked this place called Vagamon. which is like full of waterfalls and a monastery. And we actually snuck into the monastery. Monastery. We sat in that, in the chapel there, and we did a whole round of breathing with our voice. It's so interesting to see the monks kind of looking at us and saying, what are these guys doing? But we were meditating and we were breathing with our voice. So take a screenshot of this too. Keep it on hand, teach and share. But remember, whatever you do, you're not holding your breath. You're just allowing the oils to work with your body. Open up those airways and to soothe the mind. This is my favorite kit till we get the yoga collection, which is a strategic blend of 3 different kinds of oils from the US. This is our India yoga kit, and I couldn't be happier. So it's got balance because they know exactly what balance does. It's got citrus bliss, which is like this, like a happy hour of all the orange oils that we have. It's got bergamot, it's got tangerine, it's got all of the oil, all of the oranges in this one, 15 ml bottle. And then there is adaptive. Adaptive is again a beautiful oil to help calm the nerves. If you have all of that overthinking going on, that churning going on, if you're stressing about a presentation, adaptive is your oil. How do you get these oils? There are 3 ways in which you can be part of our doTERRA family. One is you can buy retail, but I've heard, Becky and Suzanne say this 1,000 times. Friends don't let friends pay retail price. We want friends to get the 25% discount for life. So becoming a member in India is so beautifully, so easy. They've made it so easy for us. There is no fee. So you sign up to become a member with the person who invited you here tonight, and they help you get your own account. And you can also get deeper discounts by signing up for the loyalty rewards program. I'm not going to walk you through all of that tonight, but talk to the person who invited you here. Today, I get all of my oils at 55% off, which allows me to share them so much more because it's not costing me a lot of money. If you look at the price of the bottles, you might think, oh my gosh, they're so expensive. But it's literally 250 drops in this one bottle that will last you a long, long time. And I get to share this with the teachers I teach, and I get to share this with my neighbors, I get to share this with my friends. Because I'm now getting my oils at 55% off because I've been with doTERRA for this period of time. And I've been on the loyalty rewards. If you are enthusiastic to share the oils, to teach the oils, and to make a difference, you can also be a wellness advocate like us. Many of who invited you today are wellness advocates. So you can also make, an income sharing doTERRA with. So we're all here. As you can see, this group is from leaders from all over the country and all over the world, mentoring and teaching people to make a difference. So thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. And if there's anything you need to ask me, I'm happy to answer. If I don't have the answer, we'll find it